Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Daily Drive. I am slowly but surely getting used to a new schedule for the Daily Drive. So welcome. It is Thursday. This is a little bit different for us here on the Daily Drive. So thank you for tuning in here to the Daily Drive. This is just something that I created when I started to understand how to take control of my anxiety and how to even use my anxiety for my benefit instead of living in that darkness of anxiety. So welcome to the Daily Drive. Up until this week, we've been doing the Daily Drive on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but due to just a new schedule that I have right now, I'm going back to work, and although we've been closed for a little bit, we're opening back up today, and so I'm going back to work today. I'm also starting classes and just that's what we're going to talk about today, but just working through life and maneuvering through things with a new schedule and with changes that are happening in 2022 because we're creating the change in our life in 2022. But because of all of those things, this is a new time for the Daily Drive, a new schedule for the Daily Drive. So it's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For now until whenever, indefinitely, I don't know. The Daily Drive will be on Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So that's a little bit different. So welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning into this. Thank you for taking control of your mental health. I want to talk about something interesting, fun, something that has come up in conversation in my life recently, and that, you guys, is brain language, okay? I love learning about the brain and talking about the brain, and brain language is something that I have learned is super helpful to helping you be in control of your mind. And brain language, what I mean by that is what you are telling your brain, what you are saying to your brain, what you're saying out loud, what you're journaling, what you are filling your head with. You guys, your brain takes things literally. If you are saying something, if you are learning something, if you are like in anxiety mode and not taking control of that, what you are telling your brain is taking literally. Your brain is there to work for you. And what you fill your brain with is what your brain is going to put out. And the biggest thing that I am working on changing this year, that I have talked to friends about, that we know is something that we can work on, is the phrase, "I'm struggling." It's something that I say, it's something that I see friends say, it's something that people say when they're a little bit overwhelmed, and I get it because it feels like a struggle, right? And so the biggest brain language flip that I am making this year is with the phrase, "I'm struggling. I'm on the struggle bus. I am overwhelmed today, so I am struggling." And I found myself doing that this morning because, as I've said, I'm getting used to a new schedule. I'm trying things that are different, that are new, and I am in the process of understanding what is working best for me. And so I wanted to get up and get back to the gym this morning. I haven't been to the gym in I don't know how long. First of all, I haven't wanted to drive in the snow and all of that, but I haven't been to the gym in a little bit. And I wanted to get back to the gym this morning. However, I forgot to set my alarm early enough last night before I went to bed, and I didn't wake up this morning early enough to go to the gym, to come back and do this daily drive, to get ready for work, to do all the things. I didn't get up early enough to do all of the things. And so all morning I was telling myself, I am struggling. I didn't get up early enough. I'm struggling to get back into a gym routine. I'm struggling with this new schedule. I'm struggling to understand things. I was just saying in my head over and over and over and over, right, that I'm struggling today. I'm struggling to understand things differently, struggling to know my new schedule. And guess what? The more you tell your brain that you're struggling, the more you let that thought linger, the more you do not actively and intentionally redirect that thought, the more you tell your brain that you're struggling, that's what your brain is going to do. It's going to continue to struggle with whatever it is you have going on. And that's because you're telling your brain that, and your brain's taking it literally because your brain wants to work for you, right? So the biggest thing that I am changing this year is I'm going to stop telling my brain that I'm struggling when things are feeling overwhelming or when things are changing and I'm learning new things. I'm going to stop allowing myself to continue to say that I am struggling, and instead I'm going to tell my brain that I am learning. I'm learning how to fit all of these things into my life now. I'm learning what my schedule needs to be like to fit all of the things in that I want to fit. I'm learning when is a good time to go to the gym based on what I have to do throughout the day. I'm learning these things. And the more I'm telling my brain that I'm learning, the more my brain is going to learn. It's not going to struggle. It's going to learn, and it's going to show me where I can fit things in throughout my day. It's going to allow me to handle things calmly because I'm telling my brain that I'm learning this. So instead of telling yourself, understand that brain language is super important, and what you tell yourself and what you don't take control of and change, right? Because we're all about becoming unlimited here. So we're all about changing those limited thought processes. So even those limitations in your brain that are already there, if you allow that current brain language to stay, nothing is going to change. So when I started to figure out what things were actually limiting beliefs in my mind, and you guys, it was things that I never would have thought of, right? So let me know in the comments, drop a 1. First of all, give me a good morning if you're here and you're watching and you're tuning into the new time. Thank you for being here. I love connecting in the chat. Say good morning. But drop a 1 in the comments if you have ever felt like you really, really, really want to do something, but you just don't know how to fit it into your day. And so your whole thought process is wrapped up in, how am I going to fit this into my day? And then you feel bad when you don't do it because you haven't been able to fit it into your day, right? So drop a 1 in the comments if you know that you have felt that way, that you really, really, really want to do something and you haven't been able to fit it into your day. And then the rest of the day is all about how that didn't work out and how that sucked and how you didn't get to do what you wanted to do. Guess what? The next day, if you continue to think about how you didn't fit that in yesterday and how are you going to fit it in today, and I'm struggling to even think about this, if that's what you continue to think the next day rather than taking control of that and redirecting it, all right, it didn't fit into yesterday, I'm going to learn how I can fit it into today. Right? If you have limited beliefs in your mind that you are not actively taking control of, right? And you are going to uncover new limited beliefs every single day. I promise you, when you start to become aware of what your thoughts are and then how you can redirect them, you will uncover limited beliefs every single day. And I love that process. I love getting to take control of my limitations and changing them and becoming unlimited in my life. It has changed so many things for me. So you have all of these thought processes that have already been created. And a lot of them are limited beliefs that you may not even realize are limited beliefs, right? So drop a 2 in the chat if you had to be part of the Clean Plate Club when you were a kid. I love you, Mom and Dad, and I get like where that's coming from. But the Clean Plate Club is actually a limited belief because that tells you that there's no other option but to eat all of this food. And what if it's too much food? What if you're already full? What if you genuinely don't like whatever it is that you're having? there's no need to be in the Clean Plate Club, right? It's a nice thought as a little kid, and we understood as a little kid, you get it, but it is a limited belief. You're limiting yourself into believing that this is the only option. So when you start to uncover things like that, it's up to you to change them and to redirect them and to learn the right language for your brain. I have changed all kinds of words, and they are words that can be as tiny as 3 little letters. I actively and intentionally work on telling myself that I get to do things versus that I have to do things. I don't have to go to work today because that feels like a burden. That feels like I don't want to be there. That feels like I'm already setting myself up to not want to do this. I have to do it, right? I get to go to work today. I get to go back and make money. I get to go back and see people I enjoy being around. I get to do that today. So that's a major change that I have made in my brain language. It is things that are that small because your brain takes that literally. So in 2022, I really, really hope that you start to understand that you can take control of your brain language and you can flip it. I am no longer allowing myself to believe that I am struggling. I am no longer, well, I can't say I'm no longer because the thought still comes up. I am intentionally redirecting the thoughts of I'm struggling to I am learning. I'm learning my new schedule. I'm learning how to fit in the things that I want. I'm learning how to squeeze the gym in and get back to physical activity. I'm learning to do these things. Because the more I tell my brain that I'm learning to do it, the more my brain is going to take over and actually learn how to do it. Right? Change your brain language. And for me, this is something that comes right down to affirmations and how I say things to myself daily. So when I created the Daily Drive worksheet, the first thing on there is my intentional thought. And my intentional thoughts are always in the format of I am committed to. Because that language reminds my brain that I made that decision. It was me that chose to eat healthier, be active however many times a week, pursue new opportunities. I made that decision. So I am committed, that is my commitment, it is my intent to follow through with this. I am committed to. My intentional thoughts are in that format so that I am giving my brain the right information, right? I am committed to my own personal growth and health. My brain is going to grab that and go with it, right? So what's the next step? So, excuse me. In 2022, I challenge you to change your brain language. Get to know your brain, get to know what you're thinking, get to know what your autopilot thoughts are, and understand that you can take control of that. You can change those thoughts anytime you choose to. Where focus goes, energy flows. Anytime you choose to focus those thoughts, whichever way, remember, if you're focusing on all the poopy stuff, that's where you're going to stay. If you're flipping your brain language and focusing on shifting your energy positive, that's where you're going to be. So in 2022, where focus goes, energy flows, remember that your brain is taking things literally. And if you continue to tell your brain, I'm struggling, I'm on the struggle bus. I feel like I've done a daily drive about this specific phrase before, and it's one, obviously, that is hard to crack, right? Because we go straight to it. So in 2022, I'm intentionally working on this phrase, okay? If you continue to tell your brain that you're struggling, that things are hard, that you don't know how to do this, that you don't understand, whatever that limited belief is, if you continue to tell your brain that, your brain is taking that literally and keeping you there. Instead of telling myself or others or whatever that I'm struggling this year, I'm learning. I'm learning how to maneuver with my new schedule. I'm learning how to fit things in. I'm learning how to move forward with positive momentum. I'm not struggling anymore. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it might feel overwhelming, but I'm learning how to maneuver through all of that. And the more I tell my brain that I'm learning, the more my brain is going to learn and take control of that and point my energy in that direction. So I challenge you to take control of your brain language and intentionally stop telling yourself that you're struggling, that you don't know how, that you can't do this, that you're not educated enough, and intentionally tell yourself that you are committed to learning. You are understanding how your brain works. You are understanding how life works. Everybody's life is crazy right now, right? And we're all learning and understanding how to work through it. So instead of allowing yourself to believe, instead of telling yourself that you're struggling, tell yourself that you're learning. You're learning how to get through this. You're learning new emotions and how to handle them. You're learning a new schedule. You're learning a new job. You're learning whatever. You're not struggling. You are learning. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate so much when you're here. I also appreciate some good old alliteration. And so today, y'all are my language learners. You are learning that by changing your language, you can take control of your mind. And in 2022, you are learning that you can intentionally give your brain the things that you want to give it. So, my language learners, y'all are going in the joy jar today. Everybody that watches and hangs out with me and interacts, lurks and doesn't say anything, whatever. I love y'all so much. Do me a favor and check out dailydrivecoaching.com. We have new internet. I have a show on pause in the living room, and I'm still in here on this, and it's all been fine. I'm just going to say that. We have new internet, so do me a favor and check out dailydrivecoaching.com because updates and all kinds of stuff are coming. Subscribe, put your email address in, and you will get it straight to your inbox. If you are not part of my Becoming Unlimited Facebook group, let me know. It is tagged here. Search on Facebook. It is just a free community of support where you get these daily drives, a little bit more content about unlimiting your thoughts, and just a group of people to be with, so that you know you are not maneuvering through your mental health alone. That's Becoming Unlimited on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to Daily Drive Coaching on YouTube. Turn on notifications and turn on notifications for all of my social media because I will never ask for a fee for what I do here on social media. You can see all of my services and retail on dailydrivecoaching.com. All I ask is that you help me continue to spread mental health awareness, break the stigmas around mental health by tagging a friend, sharing a video, subscribing to all of the things, and just being in community with me. It helps me more than you can ever even understand. Good morning, Kimmy. I see you're catching this right at the end. If you're catching the replay, give me a hashtag replay in the comments like Kimmy did. But you guys remember, moving forward, intentionally take control of your brain language. Stop telling your brain that you're struggling, that you are going through a hard time, that you can't do something, that you don't know how to do something. Stop saying I'm struggling and start saying I'm learning. I am committed to growth. I am committed to learning and maneuvering through life. I am learning my new schedule. I'm learning the best times to fit things in. I'm not struggling. I'm learning. And I'm going to come out on the other end better as always. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in on the new time. I will be back with you on Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I love y'all so much. I'll see you soon.